Welcome to Climate Change with Net Zero Homes, a podcast dedicated to achieving net zero goals and building smart and sustainable homes. We speak with global CEOs, industry analysts, innovators, and energy optimists to tackle the biggest sustainability challenges we face at home by leveraging smart technology and digital innovations.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Climate Change with Net Zero Homes. In this podcast, we are exploring how the different bricks that will help us to achieve our net zero goals at home. I'm Yan Golaz, your host of this episode. I head up the Global Offer Innovation in the Home and Distribution Division at Schneider Electric. So today I'm joined with John Canali, Principal Analyst with Omdia, IoT service provider and platform strategy team to discuss some of the key themes and trends in IoT and how they are making homes more sustainable. So welcome, John.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you about how the Internet of Things or IoT innovations are helping to create not only smarter, but more sustainable homes. As Yan said, I am Principal Analyst with Omdia's IoT platform and service provider strategies practice. Omdia is a leading global market research and consulting firm. A key area across the company has been researching how enterprises and consumers can embrace more environmentally sustainable solutions, including smart homes.
Okay, great, John. So you did write a compelling research on the role of IoT and sustainability. And we are all keen to have you talk here today and together about your key findings. So if I read you well, we are at a good momentum to make the sustainability happen because the technology is evolving and progressing very fast. The companies are taking sustainability very seriously. And more importantly, we see the mentality has changed a lot. So what do you think about that few points that I shared with you?
So across almost all verticals, we're seeing enterprises firstly setting goals for environmental sustainability. And secondly, thinking of solutions that can help them measure how they are achieving these goals. Enterprises are increasingly interrogating their manufacturing processes and examining their supply chains to make them greener. They are reimagining packaging to reduce waste. While all of this is altruistic, there's a business case that can be made. Greener processes can result in cost savings. While there certainly is very often an upfront capital cost to improve these capabilities, there's often a far greater long tail where companies can see greater cost savings. This is increasingly true with energy costs rising. It's not just enterprises, though. Consumers are looking to do their part to create a more sustainable world and are looking for ways to reduce their carbon footprint. This is not always easy, but aiming to reduce our fuel consumption, embracing renewable energy sources, limiting our waste by consuming less and recycling more are all really good starting points. Enterprises can appeal to consumers' sense of environmental stewardship. As with enterprises, consumers are feeling the pinch from higher utility prices. With so much uncertainty in the housing market, embracing smart home solutions are likely to continue to emerge as cool, cost-effective, and greener ways to update one's home or apartment.
Yeah, indeed, John. Home are one of the key markets to address. Did you know that a UN study has been made recently and says that home accounts for 20% of the global greenhouse gas emissions? 20%, it's a big number. It's a huge number. So, but as you said, the individual's mentality is there to change that. So we've seen this shift in mentality in the recent studies that we have conducted. Now, more than half of the consumers thinks it's important that their home becomes net zero. And energy efficiency and sustainability have become the two top main reasons why people improve their homes. So the COVID and the current energy tariffs rise have most probably accelerated this trend. So, and there are so many improvements that we can do in homes. To say few of them, and it's reducing the electronic waste, reducing the energy consumptions, but also using reusable hardware, recycling, or buying product made of recycled materials. So just to name a few of them. So this is where we need to move on.
Just as a high street, as my colleagues in the UK often say, or the main street, as we say in the US, need to be reimagined, so too does the residential housing market. In many markets, the current stock of housing does not reflect the needs of the community. Not only do we need more housing, particularly affordable housing, but we also really need more efficient housing. In the face of the plunging stock market, the collapse of many cryptocurrencies, and what appears to be a major disruption in the housing market, it is difficult to predict how consumers will react. At the onset of COVID-19, many predicted enterprises would pull back on their implementations of IoT solutions to save money. At Omdia, we actually witnessed the opposite. Many enterprises accelerated their IoT deployments to create safer environments for their workers, or took advantages of offices and factories being empty to implement their solutions. I think it's still too early to determine how the economic uncertainty we're seeing in the housing market will play out for the creation of smarter and more sustainable homes. However, IoT solutions such as connected thermostats, lighting systems, solar panels, and water meters can empower consumers and make housing more efficient. Consumers and building owners can give properties a refresh with these systems and create more sustainable homes in the long run. One does not simply need to just go out and buy a new home to make significant improvements to their living situations, nor do they need to build a new residence to create a greener home, but instead can retrofit existing systems. So retrofitting, I think, is a cool option. However, there's a potential downside where it can create more electronic waste, which we view as a major environmental hazard. However, enterprises can look to limit electronic waste and create systems that can be recycled. If we look at the consumer market, many telecom providers allow consumers to bring in their phones to be recycled when they go to upgrade their phone. Smart home providers should look to these practices where hardware can be recycled after it is sold. The idea of creating products that are more circular rather than linear should be a major goal. We simply can't just keep taking materials from the earth and throwing them into landfills. We really need to find a way to make sure that these materials are reused.
You're right, John. The power of IoT is great and infinite, and this is our role as companies like Schneider Electric to make people aware of these benefits, and it can bring to the more sustainable living. IoT measures carbon emissions. Great. IoT helps you to reduce your energy consumptions. Great again. IoT selects the greenest sources of electricity, and it can also balance the energy loads in your home. So you can charge your EV at the cheapest moment of the day. So great opportunities and power of IoT behind all these examples. So the possibilities offered by the IoT are really, really good. And as I'm saying, and much broader than we thought it could be at the beginning. And the AI combined with the in-depth learning of our habits in the home makes the IoT even more powerful to eliminate waste. So, and more importantly, so if we look, people don't have to choose exclusively between their comfort or being energy efficient. They can choose both. They are the IoT makes their choice possible in combining this comfort and energy savings, and it makes their life easier, better, and greener. So, on your side, John, did you see such trends emerge in the recent studies that you went through?
We are actually seeing that connected sensors can provide more data to both consumers and enterprises. Putting these sensors into heating, cooling, lighting, and water systems can help monitor usage and reduce waste and runoff. At Omdia, we're seeing a trend that more of these home systems are coming to market. The new systems are often simpler to use and therefore easier for consumers to adopt and utilize.
Yeah, definitively. Yeah. Sensors will play a major role in enabling the smart and sustainable homes to happen. They are making the sensors are making the automation and also the scenarios and repetitive scenarios that we want to put in place feasible. So, and they give the homeowners valuable data insights as well. So with this, they know what they consume, when, and how much. So do you see some interesting technologies recently on the market that you could share with us?
So a key driver of is technology in the forms of new and improved forms of connectivity. Advancements in Bluetooth, as well as the incorporation of low power, long range, wide area network connectivity is key. These technologies have some key backers such as Amazon, Alibaba, and Microsoft, as well as more traditional network providers such as Orange in France. While Wi-Fi has limitations in range, products such as Amazon Sidewalk can extend connectivity to devices outside of the home. For instance, a smart lighting system for the perimeter of a home can be connected or controlled inside of the home. Additionally, another cool use case I see is a connected dog collar that alerts the owner if their pet has exited their backyard and then tracks its movement.
Okay, it's quite exciting to see this range of sensors with this new communication protocol expanding. So it gives some more solutions. And but for this specific protocol of low bandwidth solutions, could you give us a little bit more insights?
Yeah. So one interesting point is Amazon has actually taken this technology even further and extended it to public spaces such as parks, city centers, universities, and businesses. While one could use cellular connectivity to connect these spaces, cellular connectivity is pretty expensive and can often drain a product's battery. While LoRa and LoRaWAN solutions utilize unlicensed cellular spectrum, solutions on licensed spectrum such as narrowband IoT are also coming to market. These solutions have been promoted by the traditional CSP, so the communication service providers, companies like AT&T, Verizon, Vodafone, and China Mobile. In fact, in the case of China, narrowband IoT has been used fairly heavily in infrastructure. Most solutions utilizing this technology have been aimed less at consumers and more towards smart cities and enterprises. While there are various trade-offs between the different forms of connectivity, and I certainly do not believe there is a one-size-fits-all answer, I'm encouraged to see that more consumers, enterprises, and governments are using connectivity to better understand how they can live and work in more environmentally sustainable ways.
Okay, you're right. The data can only be powerful if the process goes right. So, and I would add to it, if the devices correctly and natively speaks together, it makes even more powerful data. So, from there, at Schneider Electric, we welcome Matter as an excellent opportunity to make the IoT world much more valuable for the consumer, and at the same time to increase the efficiency and sustainability in the home. So Matter, for those who listen to us and may not know what it is about. It is the name of the new communication protocol under development, involving roughly 400 companies today, and led by the Connectivity Standards Alliance, which was the ex-Zigbee Alliance. So it is due to come live in the fall 2022. And our teams in Schneider Electric are very much actively involved in making matter a reality. So this is an amazing coordinated effort towards different companies and different countries, and to bring a unified communication between the things. So do you share, John, this same excitement as mine?
I do share all your enthusiasm. Firstly, we are seeing the implementation of Matter will be critical for the longevity of the smart home market. According to our recent consumer surveys, the biggest barrier to adoption are the use cases and price points, not the interoperability. In fact, confusion of how devices integrate was last on the list of why consumers have not purchased smart home technology. Nonetheless, Matter is crucial for the smart home market because it will theoretically allow brands to focus on use cases and integrations that will convince consumers of the value of smart homes. Matter will facilitate new channels as well. Smart apartments and single home builders are two channels that should receive a boost from Matter because it removes the smart home silos. This means that builders or property managers will be able to build smart home solutions with no concerns over ecosystems. So again, these ecosystems would be the likes of those created by Apple or Amazon or Google. But we see if Matter is further delayed or the implementation does not meet expectations, then the value proposition of these new channels will be diminished.
Thank you a lot, John, for sharing this perspective on Matter, and also thank you more largely on sharing your lights and your insights on how the IoT can bring its piece of the puzzles in the sustainable homes. So we have covered together the role of data can play in the turning homes towards its net zero goals, and as well as some specific technologies enabled by IoT, such as the low brand solutions with LoRa, as you have shared with us. So brick by brick, we are building the smart and sustainable homes of today and tomorrow, the ones that will not have a harmful impact on the environment are the ones that will become the net zero. So thank you a lot, John, and it was a great pleasure for all of us to have you in this podcast and have a chat together.
Hey, thank you again. I've been following the Climate Change with Net Zero Homes podcast and really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm really excited to see the new developments from Schneider Electric and how we can work together to revolutionize the homes of the future so that they are more sustainable and more livable. Thank you again.
All right, to catch up on all the previous episodes in this series and to find out more about tackling climate change with net zero, so please hit the subscribe link wherever you are listening. So if you know someone who will benefit from listening to today's discussion, please share this episode with them. So join us next time, where we will be joined by another special guest to talk about another steps of our net zero journey. So thank you very much for listening, and see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Climate Change with Net Zero Homes podcast by Schneider Electric. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast on the podcast app of your choice so you are sure you don't miss an episode. If you like this episode, we'd appreciate your rating. For more information on the Climate Change with Net Zero Homes podcast, go to sc.com and look for Homes of the Future or follow us on LinkedIn. The content of this podcast is for informational purposes only, should not be undertaken as financial, economic, legal, business, tax, or investment advice. The information, statements, views, and opinions should not be construed as the provision of advice by Schneider Electric or as an offer to buy or sell any products or services, or to make or consider any investment or course of action.
The content of this podcast is for informational purposes only, should not be undertaken as financial, economic, legal, business, tax, or investment advice. The information, statements, views, and opinions should not be construed as a provision of advice by Schneider Electric or as an offer to buy or sell any products or services or to make or consider any investment or course of action.